Hi guys, it's Mike from Pioneer, and today we're going to be taking a look at the brand new head unit from Pioneer, the SPH-DA77DAB. The SPH-DA77DAB features a 6.8 inch full glass capacitive touchscreen, wireless Apple CarPlay, wireless Android Auto, Bluetooth, DAB, USB and a few more new and improved features that we'll go through in this video. Let's take a look at the unit itself. First up, take a look at the screen. It's a 6.8 inch full glass capacitive touchscreen. There are no hard keys on here, everything is done on the touch panel. Secondly, if we turn the unit around, you'll notice that the chassis of the unit is actually singled in. There's two reasons for this. One is to allow fitment in far more vehicles. With vehicles getting tighter and tighter these days, having less bulk to take up at the back means that it can fit more options. It also means that when it does fit, you have this extra gap at the top to be able to hide any additional cables or wiring. You have the options to fit using the 2D cage if your vehicle allows. Otherwise, if you have a fitting kit that requires brackets, you have the bolt holes on the side to be able to mount the brackets to bolt that into your vehicle. Inside the box is an array of fitting components that are needed during the installation of the Pioneer. First up, we have the Pioneer power loom terminated with a Pioneer block on one end and ISO connections on the other end. Some vehicles come with ISO as standard, otherwise you'll need to get a suitable vehicle adapter which that will plug directly into. Then we have the hands-free microphone. Hands-free microphone is needed for hands-free or for Siri or Google Voice commands. The microphone can be fitted in two ways. It comes with a U-clip that can either be hooked over the interior sun visor, or you can remove the U-clip and use the supplied sticky pad to mount it somewhere alternative. We then have the USB extension, which extends the rear mounted USB to somewhere more accessible in the vehicle. We then have the GPS antenna, which is needed for Apple CarPlay or Android Auto. If you do not connect this, then it will not function properly. This comes with a sticky pad to stick it to the dash or to stick it somewhere suitable. We then have three separate cables with white plugs on. All of these plug into the rear of the unit, into the block port there. First up is the steering wheel and the camera interface. This allows connection of your steering wheel control adapter and your rear camera. We then have an aux in, which is a 3.5mm aux in that will carry video and audio. We then have your pre-out loom, which has 4V pre-outs for rear, front and your subwoofer, as well as an additional camera input and a rear monitor output. There is also a bag of screws that might be required during your installation, as well as some cable clips to clip down any cables that you might have run externally. When the unit fires up, you will notice the Pioneer Loadup logo. This can be changed in the settings, so you can change that for a logo of your vehicle or any other picture you want. Once the unit has loaded, you're greeted with the home screen. Now the home screen has a couple of different sections. The first one being the large one in the middle, which is how you go through your sources. You'll have some shortcut source icons there at the time, and you would have album artwork over there once you've got a source playing. That can be edited. So if you hit the edit option down the bottom, you have the option to be able to add in extra source icons if you wish to the home screen, as well as remove any other functions. So now we've removed the time, the album artwork, but we've added in the phone. If we want to bring the time back, we can bring the time back. And if you want to add in Bluetooth audio, for example, we can add that there as well. If we decide that we want to delete an option, we can just simply press the option we want to delete, press OK, and delete that from the screen. Down the right hand side is a shortcuts menu. Now the shortcuts menu can be used for a few different things. It has three separate pages. The first one is your source. With this one, we can quickly adjust the source without having to jump in and out of too many menus. So once you've actually got a source playing, for example, if we're going to play DAB, now you have the information about the DAB station and a few extra features here to be able to navigate that source. On page 2, we have some options for doing your equalizer and your sound. And on page 3, we have some DAB presets to toggle between your saved stations quickly. We have an audio off menu to be able to turn the audio off. We have a manual dimmer to be able to dim the unit manually. And we have a toggle to be able to turn the subwoofer on and off. You'll notice on the bottom left there is also an option that says sources. That will bring up all the sources in a complete list if you want to manually select something that way. Down the left hand side of the unit we have the unit's navigation keys. Now, the navigation keys are used to access certain functions and features of the unit quickly and safely. First up, at the top we have a hands-free access. That gives you quick access into the unit's hands-free menu. Next up we have the voice control key, which will launch the voice control system of whichever phone you're using. So for Apple CarPlay or Apple, it will be Siri, and for an Android device it will be Google Voice. Then we have a quick access smartphone menu, so whichever screen that you're in, if you press the smartphone key it will take you back to either Android Auto or Apple CarPlay depending on what phone you have connected. The home key takes you back to the home screen, whichever menu you're in, and you have the volume up and down. You'll notice if you adjust the volume, you will have two bars. You'll have a guidance bar and you will have the audio bar. So you can adjust the guidance and audio completely independently. Now onto the sources. Obviously this unit comes with Apple CarPlay and Android Auto, both able to connect wirelessly through the unit's built-in Wi-Fi receiver. You can connect via cable if you prefer and if you want to charge your phone, but connecting wirelessly is so much easier. Now, similar to Apple CarPlay and Android Auto, Weblink gives you the ability to connect a compatible smartphone and access some of your smartphone's apps. From Weblink, you're able to access some of your phone's content. You're able to access weather reports, limited access to YouTube, as well as the ability to mirror and control your compatible smartphone through the unit screen. Right now I'm using WeblinkCast to control my connected Android and open up the web browser of my phone to browse the Pioneer website. In the source menu you also have quick access to your phone book again, connection settings which will give you the ability to switch over phones, DAB, radio, Bluetooth audio. When it's connected you will have USB as well, auxiliary. Now this unit has a vehicle settings source. Vehicle settings source requires an additional harness which is available separately and at the minute only compatible for some vehicles. With a compatible vehicle it will connect and talk to the CAN bus network. Now what that means is that the screen itself can display some of the vehicle's original display screens and settings all via the Pioneer screen. Aside from that, we have a camera view option so that if we have a rear view camera connected, we can hit that button and display it on the screen whenever we want. The settings itself can be quite important and give you the ability to customize the unit to suit your requirements. In the system settings is all the core settings specific to the unit itself, things like language, time and date, turning on and off certain functions of the unit, and the ability to carry out firmware updates later on down the line, factory resets, or check the connectivity status. Display settings give you the ability to adjust the display to suit you. So we have the illumination option. You can adjust the illumination to suit your vehicle. You can also adjust the background by uploading custom backgrounds, choosing one of the default backgrounds, or you can adjust the splash screen, which is the screen that you see when the unit loads up. Then we have the audio and EQ settings. So from in here, you can adjust the audio from top to bottom, depending on how you want to listen to your music. We have balance and fader, loudest, speaker level, listening position and time alignment. You have your EQ, which is a 13-band EQ. You have your preset EQs there. Otherwise, you can completely customize it to suit you. You can turn the subwoofer on and off. You have crossover settings, bass boost, mute level, and then you have your subwoofer settings, which allows you to change the slope of your subwoofer. So there we have it. If you're looking to change the head unit in your car, then you should definitely consider one of these. That is the rundown on the SPH-DA77DAB. If you have any questions, then drop us a comment below. Otherwise, please like and subscribe to this channel to keep up to date with all of Pioneer's latest releases.